I'm reminding you that I do want you to be wealthy. And I've done videos in the past about that, so if you just grabbed your pockets, it's not necessary. Today we're going to be talking about new information. I mean, I need to be up to date on pretty much anything that I speak about, and the reason why is I need to be extremely credible and bring you really good, valuable information. Now, I was talking to an individual and I learned that the studies say that pornography has nothing to do with erectile dysfunction. And after reviewing it and going through it, he was absolutely right that they have no correlation. Reality, though, is in life, if you are addicted to something, the chances of that impacting another individual's life or a family is extremely high. And when that happens, guess what? You have an impact. It may not be erectile dysfunction, however, it will be, especially if it's with pornography and masturbation, it is going to be pretty much a deal killer because of a number of things that I'm going to talk about here in a minute. So we need to think about that when an individual masturbates, pretty much their sexual desire shortly thereafter drops down. Their libido goes down and they're not really all that excited about becoming invested in more sex at that point. Understand that many men feel that after they have masturbated that they really don't need to interact with anybody. They pretty much go on their own way. So that is kind of a deal killer also. And you've got to understand that if we have like 900 numbers where you pay for sex talk or pillow talk, that is going to be feeding you good conversation that fills the ego, and it really keeps you interested and it builds you up. Reality is that a relationship? I'm going to have to say that it isn't. You know, think about the movie with that had Ryan Gosling in it, Lars and the Real Girl. So what happened was that he was involved with a plastic doll, blow-up doll, and he would take it around and show it to all his friends, families, and the whole community. And reality is that was that a real relationship? Well, in my book, having a conversation that's one way is not necessarily a good evolving relationship. A relationship has a tendency to have a give and take. There is a protocol that allows people to become trusting in their words. They start talking about ideas and dreams, and that in itself shows the deepness of that particular relationship. But if you have to pay people to have a conversation or pay people to have sex, I'm thinking that we really need to start evaluating where our life's going and what some of our priorities are. You know, one of the things that pornography does do is it does create an arousal in the brain. And remember that this is a movie, and a movie means that if I, as the viewer, am watching it and comparing myself with the depth and girth and size and longevity, wait a minute, that is all acting. It's edited. It's not real. And what also can happen is it creates anxiety in you. It creates confusion. It also doesn't show real relationships being formed between two consenting adults, and it doesn't show a intimate sexual relationship in these pornography movies. Otherwise women would love to watch it. You know, they're pretty much slam bam thank you ma'am. You know, people watch a lot who let me start again people who watch a lot of pornography are not necessarily aroused by partnership sexual events, and this can lead to erectile dysfunction. And the reason is that there's performance anxiety or there's guilt about watching the pornography. You know, there's been studies that have shown that pornography Men may just decide that masturbation is a lot easier to do watching porn rather than being engaged with a sexuality of your partner, because you don't have to put up with their bullshit. So the idea is that we have a sexual arousal that starts in our brain, visually, auditory, taste, smell, and it sends a message down to your groin. That's the reason why women are aroused sexually differently than men. And we need to be able to respect that, and we need to be able to work with that. One of the things is that we need to happen to understand that our drive, our motivation is, as human beings generally, is to be in some type of relationships. And if we aren't, then it leads to a shortness of life, dementia. We've talked about a bunch of that stuff before. But it also might cause you now to start thinking about body insecurity, lack of performance anxiety. It may make males have a hard time maintaining an erection. All right? So, only you and your partner can really decide what level of pornography is really healthy. If you happen to notice that maintaining erections during sexual contact, and you're not having that issue when you're watching pornography and masturbating, then you need to start reevaluating what your usage is with pornography. And I'm going to lump 1-800-900 numbers in this, because it detracts from an intimate personal relationship with your partner. You're hearing these voices that boost your ego. They make you feel good. If that is what needs to happen in order for you to be able to have sex, then you need to be able to communicate and express that to your partner so that they can do the same thing. One of the things that happens is that we may, as men, need to have some type of sexual reinforcement, and also pillow talk, and it might help us become sexually aroused. But the idea is that we need to be able to express it with our partners if we're not getting it. We need to be able to communicate with our partners our fantasies. We need to be able to talk about our desires. We need to be able to express ourselves. One of the things that it shows where the addiction is going, or if you have an addiction is where you start to center your life around whatever that addiction is. An example would be that you have to have pornography, and you're not going to go trick-or-treating with your children until you have your pornography and masturbate. Or you get on the phone making a 900 call, and you're not going to go because you've got to masturbate. The other day I was talking to somebody online. I was setting up an appointment, and they were like, well, I got to masturbate first. And it was kind of like, well, fine, call me. I don't care. And it is, where are you in the process? Where are your priorities? If we want to be alone, that's fabulous. Nobody is going to be impacted by a pornography addiction, but if you are in a relationship with somebody and the pornography is addictive, it's going to impact everybody. So, if you do feel that you do have an addiction to pornography or addiction to masturbation, then you might want to seek therapy, pastoral counselors, Reiki healers, and you want to be able to get a cure and take some action in order to be able to feel better about your life, feel better about your sexual encounters, have more drive, be able to please your partner, and also be pleased. So go ahead, make your comments. I really do appreciate you watching this particular video. You have a great day.